Teacher, let your light shine community. You are in for an amazing story today as we hear from Jennifer Pinto as we discuss her journey of becoming a micro school founder, homeschool hybrid entrepreneur. She is also a fabulous connector and contributor to our micro school mastermind community. I've also had the pleasure of coaching Jennifer through a series of times that we've been able to speak together and through micro school masterminds. I'm so impressed with her tenacity, her resilience, her heart. She has incredible opportunities for children and ways that she builds up her community. I know that not only is she going to be a blessing to the community that she still continues to serve and her students and families, but also to you as a listener and to me as well. You are going to love this episode.
Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for hundreds of micro school and homeschool hybrid founders. Our Teacher Let Your Light Shine online store, a place for founders' favorites. Inside you'll find our beloved bestsellers like the Business Bundle, packed with everything you need to launch and run your school, contracts, enrollment forms, parent partnership letters, and marketing materials that save you hours of stress. Teachers and parents just like you are saying these tools gave them clarity, confidence, and a clear path forward when starting their schools. Whether you're brand new or you're ready to grow, our resources are designed to help you skip the overwhelm and focus on what really matters most, like our open house playbook, our financial review preparation sheet, templates for Facebook and email marketing, how to create the perfect planning day guide, finding curriculum clarity workbook, our new course, Micro School Marketing Blueprint, all the information for legal clarity for beginners, and, of course, the yearly membership to Micro School Masterminds. Head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Again, teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Skip the overwhelm and focus on what matters most, your students, your mission, and your vision. teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Go there today and grab tools that will help you shine.
Teacher, let your light shine community. You are in for an amazing story today as we hear from Jennifer Pinto as we discuss her journey of becoming a micro school founder, homeschool hybrid entrepreneur. She is also a fabulous connector and contributor to our micro school mastermind community. I've also had the pleasure of coaching Jennifer through a series of times that we've been able to speak together and through micro school masterminds. I'm so impressed with her tenacity, her resilience, her heart. She has incredible opportunities for children and ways that she builds up her community. I know that not only is she going to be a blessing to the community that she still continues to serve and her students and families, but also to you as a listener and to me as well. You are going to love this episode. Jennifer, welcome to the show. I know that this is a long time due. I have the pleasure of seeing you on a monthly basis. I've also had the pleasure of working with you one-on-one. I am so excited to see you succeed over the past couple of years and to not give up when you face trials and tribulations. You're such a precious soul, and I am happy to introduce you to this incredible community of people that listen and are learning and want the inspiration to continue on this journey of reimagining education. So without further ado, Jennifer, please tell our audience all about yourself and how you got to this part of building your micro school and homeschool hybrid.
Yes, thank you. First of all, Mackenzie, so much for giving me the honor to being on this podcast and just sharing our story with you. So I have been in the education field since 2000, either as a substitute or teacher assistant. And then in 2022, I resigned and came home to homeschool my daughter. And I just saw a need for education for other families who are wanting something different.
Yes.
something outside the box. And I met a lady who had the same desire, and she told me, she says, you need to start a school. And so we did together in 2023.
That is fantastic. Tell me about the the lady who had the courage to bring this up to you. How did you know her?
Okay, so I had first initially seen her at the library because I did a lot of tutoring at the library, but then we were at a women's retreat together. And that retreat was really focused on intercessory prayer. And I
Oh,
spoke up and I said how the education system was really just been a burden on my heart. And it was also on her heart. So the next time I was in the library, that's when she stopped me. Caitlin is her name. When she stopped me and she said, okay, let's start at the school. And it's crazy because I'd had at least 4 people before that tell me, Jen, you need to start a school. And I'm like, but I'm not an administrator. I don't have my master's, because that's what I thought we would need to have a school. And then I just started to dive into knowing the laws of Iowa and how we could start a micro school or a hybrid school under the homeschool umbrella. And so we just started this trek, this journey, a lot of phone calls to the state of Iowa Department of Education, homeschooling lady, and just a lot of even phone calls with attorneys to see if we're doing everything right legally. And that's how we just marched on and did it.
and you are studying at, is this the same library that you're studying at where this conversation really started?
Yes, it is.
That is so cool. I love
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
are back to the simple things of life, of just this divine connection. And as you mentioned, this intercession prayer, this was where the crossroads were. It was at this
Yeah.
library we're recording today. I talk to so many people who step out and begin their micro school journey. And I'm so impressed by the people who say, I started by calling the state. I started by trying to figure out, can I even do this? Can I look at the laws? Can I
Mhm.
look at the legalities? What did you find as you were researching this information with the state of Iowa?
In the state of Iowa, because we're not accredited, we would fall under the homeschool umbrella. And then with under the homeschool umbrella, there's like 4 different options. And so we really have to be careful when we do bring kids in. And when we bring kids in, we're tutoring them. And we have to be careful because there's an option where if they're under option IPI, which is individualized instruction, then I would not be able to get paid and I can't have more than 4 kids. So it's very strict.
Yes.
And so we have to look to see, and I think that was the biggest hang up is talking to the attorneys, understanding the verbiage, the language, because even the language within that law is not very clear.
Yes.
So,
Kudos for seeking out that clarification. How did you actually get in touch with an attorney? How did you know to do that?
so there is an attorney that actually launched a classical Christian hybrid school, and I got in touch with him. He's invited me to come and look at his hybrid school, and we talked about everything from the law to even going to a nonprofit or setting up a nonprofit in relationship to our school because we are an LLC.
Okay. Did you ever get the nonprofit arm or sector of your LLC?
No, we did not. No. After talking to him and just our vision is more to stay that small micro school. Our vision is not to grow in one area, but to plant in multiple areas. And
Oh,
so we, at this point in time, Caitlin and I, we do come back to this discussion. We come back to the nonprofit. We come back to the, do we want to be accredited? And right now, we hear the Lord saying no in this moment.
for
So,
sure.
and that's what we do. That's what we've done since day one, is we just bring everything to the Lord, and we're asking him to guide us.
For sure. Thank you so much for sharing.
So,
It wasn't until year 5 that we actually began seeking out nonprofit status at some capacity. After multiple conversations, we found that keeping the LLC, actually turning it into an S Corp. We started as an LLC, we moved into an S Corp after talking through with many attorneys and tax professionals, business developers. They felt at that stage of the school,
mhm,
it's best to go to S Corp. And then also
mhm,
talk to leaders who are nonprofits. They recommended
mhm,
absorbing the business entity that we have just an addition as a nonprofit. And
mhm,
it's easier to get started as an LLC. So as you are trying to lift the plane up, you are going to need the least barrier to entry when it comes time to starting your micro school. And with that
mhm.
being said, starting out as an LLC and just getting the foundation, you can always change entities, you can always add on the nonprofit. But if you are really looking to get yourself in the door, start off as an LLC because the rest can become something that you look forward to in the future. Thank you for sharing. And
Yeah.
started and you launched your very first year in 2023.
Yes.
I believe you and I had our first coaching session in 2024. Thank you
Yes.
to 1 year. And let's go back to that time. You were you were still really excited and inspired. You never thought of giving up this idea, but you had been facing some trials. And
Mhm.
just as everything that we begin, it's hard at first. Do you mind speaking to the person who is struggling in that area?
Yes. So there will be trials. And
There are trials.
this is reality. And the trials look differently. My trials this year will be different than my very first year.
Yes.
But to speak to that person has a vision and who has a calling to do this, know your why.
You've said that a couple times. Crystal
Yeah.
Master, know your why.
Know your why, because in that moment, it could be the hardest moment where the tears are coming and you just question. Just remember the why. And for my why, it was because the Lord called me to save the children.
That's beautiful.
And to know that I was given a purpose to not just educate, because it's not, for me, it's not just about the education. It's about discipling our future people,
I
just
love.
to send them into the world,
Yes.
and to s- allow them and to help them to see God in everything, to cultivate hearts of worship.
Mm,
And so just knowing your why, that that's huge, is just knowing your why.
of course. I have a question about the why, and I'm wondering, has your why, which is absolutely foundational whenever you say you are called to save the children. I'm sure that is exactly what you heard from the beginning. Has your why expanded? Like after starting, has your why expanded or has it changed in any aspect?
I don't I don't think it has right now. I think it's just really what the Lord's just it's very simple. I think what the Lord's calling me to do, and that's to bring kids into our school that will get the gospel,
That is
that will
beautiful.
know the truth, that will grow up not confused.
Yes, yes. And so I hear from you, it was an unshakable, undoubtable
Mhm.
calling. This is your mission.
Yeah.
Do you share that belief, that mission, that calling with families?
Yes, we do.
I love that. Amazing. So you know and you're strong and
Mhm.
you're that you can even verbalize it to others.
Yes.
Uh, t- Tell us more about the students you served, you that you do serve. In addition to, has it ever changed? Like, did you start serving one group of students or type of students and then it's changed over the past couple of years or remain the
Yeah.
same?
I feel like it shifted. Like our first year, we started off in our K through 8th program, we had 6 students starting off first year. A couple of them were already from homeschool backgrounds. And then we did have, well, my one student did come from the public school. And then our high school, we had 6 students, and a couple of them were going into their second year of homeschooling. So we've had a good variety. We've had homeschool, we've had public school students come through. Our first year, we did graduate 2 students. They were coming in as seniors. Yeah.
Wow.
And one of them, just a great success story. She was struggling in the public school. She graduated and I just was talking to her mom and she's doing great. She's worked her way up to management position in her job. And so just,
That's
it's really
great.
cool to see how Logos was able to help be
Yes,
part of her success in graduating.
absolutely. Tell us about the name of your program and
Yes, we are Logos Homeschool Academy.
and how did you come up with the name?
So Logos in the book of John, it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And so we strongly believe that the Word is foundation, but also that God spoke the Word, and so everything is centered around God. We do not compromise God in our school. God is in every subject. We try to point out the gospel with all our subjects.
Oh, that's amazing.
So like in math, God's a God of order. You know, you look at the creation and how he created it. There's an order to his creation.
I love
And
that.
that's how math is. So
Yes, thank you for sharing. Every time I speak
yeah,
with you, you always have a droplet of goodness, and you always have such a great collaborative heart. I remember even whenever we spoke in July specifically, you are pretty much at every single micro school masterminds group coaching session. And this one specifically in July, we were talking about building community. You were talking about having a luau and some things that you were doing for your school, some specific ideas that you had. And I was just taking notes. I was learning so much myself. How have you built community in your school, especially as a homeschool academy?
I think right now just offering enrichment classes. So these enrichment classes are for any homeschool family within the community. They don't have to be enrolled at Logos, but they're also available to students even within the public school because our classes are held on Wednesdays in the afternoon, and that's our school district's early out days.
Okay.
So, like yesterday, we just had our first STEM class for K through 6 and it was so fun. The kids
Oh,
loved it. And so we really want to be here for the community, for, families even within the public school system, just to offer. We've had Spanish class in the past, STEM. October, November, and December, we're having a 1-day class with specialized niche. So, like, my friend, she's going to come in and teach us how to preserve food. So they'll learn how to make jam and then can it.
this is so cool.
And then November, we're doing herbalism. So she'll come in and she'll teach them about the herbs. And then they'll make like a nighttime tea.
Oh, nice. I have some
Yeah.
just about this as well. So you are creating these special classes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone, no matter if they come to your academy or not, they can
Yeah.
come to classes. So is there a charge for the class?
There is a small charge. If it's like an 8-week, it's like, so like right now our STEM, it's 8 weeks long and it's $80.
Amazing. And they come once a week
Yep. Once a week for an hour.
for an hour. Beautiful. Let's talk about the marketing around that. How are you getting yourself out and marketing to families who are not necessarily aware of Logos Homeschool Academy?
I do a lot on Facebook through our local community Facebook page, Story City. That's the town, small little town we're in. It's a little farm town, like 3,000 people, maybe less. But we are near Ames, which Ames is ISU, Iowa State University. So it's a college town. So we're like 15-minute drive north of Ames. So I do have a family who come from Ames. I have a family who comes almost 40 minutes away.
Right.
But yeah, so well, yeah. So and a lot of it's word of mouth too.
Of course. Word of mouth
Yeah.
marketing, showing up on Facebook, posting in homeschooling groups. Very, very,
Yes.
very effective.
Yeah, I do post. So my teacher assistant this year, she is actually the president of one of the homeschool co-ops for another county. And so she has posted for me. So
Well, I
yeah.
think that's a really great segue into what does your day look like at Logos?
We start off with Bible class and we have all K through 8th. So we are like a one-room school house style. We have K through 8th and we start off with Bible. Our high school is in another room and they start off with their Bible. And then the first block, which is before recess, we do our math, grammar, spelling, writing. We do those subjects. And depending on the day, some days are more student directed, which I like. I like the kids to really take ownership and lead what they want to do. If they want to do math first, grammar first, and then after recess is our geography, our science, and we do that. And we are part-time, so we meet from 8:45 in the morning until 12:15.
Okay. Monday through Friday?
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday. So you take off on
Yeah.
Friday.
Yes, or there might be like we have a field trip coming up next Friday. We're going to an apple orchard. We'll be doing a tour where they show us the process, everything from doing a tour with the apple hay rack or a hay ride through the apple orchard. Then they'll show us the process of from picking the apples and showing us what they do, like how they make the cider. And then we did it last year and it was amazing. It was really knowledgeable of what nothing goes to waste. None of their product goes to waste.
Okay. This is a perfect time for those who are looking for a field trip to be thinking about your local pumpkin patches and apple orchards and ways that you can really think about that harvesting time of the year. I would like to know, as well as the audience, how you began choosing curriculum in addition to keeping it connected with when kids go home.
So the curriculum, let's see, I've had taught previously at a classical Christian school. So I do have a classical Christian methodology background. And so there are some curriculums I just won't ever be able to depart from, like
Right.
the Shirley English grammar.
I've heard about that.
It's pretty phenomenal. I do like to bring in curriculum that has like a lot of songs or chants for the younger kids. So that one does. I also like spell to write and read. It's pretty amazing for students who struggle with spelling or even reading. So those two pieces I will not depart from. They will stay with us. Math, that's been a touchy one, like which is the best math. Right now, we do have a variety of math going on in our classroom. We have dimensions math, which is more like a Singapore.
Yeah.
And then we have math you see for our pre-algebra.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I really like math you see for a couple of reasons, especially with our style, because we do have a couple families that are hybrid. So it's nice to teach the core concept that Monday and then they do the work at home and then they test on Thursday.
Oh, I like how you've built a system around this.
Yeah.
To all my teacher friends, parents, and visionary leaders, if you are listening to this, I know you are passionate about creating a micro school or a program, a homeschool hybrid that truly shines. But let's be totally honest. Building and growing a micro school or your own program or homeschool hybrid, it isn't easy. It's not for the faint of heart. Whether you're just getting started or looking to scale, there's so much to navigate. Legalities, marketing, finances, student enrollment, location, curriculum planning. That's exactly why I created Micro School Masterminds, a community where you don't have to figure it out all alone. Inside, you'll get step-by-step guidance to launch, grow, and sustain your micro school or homeschool hybrid, access to our exclusive training modules, resources, and live coaching, and a supportive network of educators who get it because they're building their own dream schools as well. You have this dream of creating an incredible opportunity for students, for teachers, and yourself. Maybe you're in the early stages, wondering, where do I even start? Or maybe you've already taken the leap, but now you're feeling overwhelmed with marketing, enrollment, all of the planning or the finances. You're not alone, and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. That's why Micro School Masterminds is here to help you on a month-by-month basis. That's right, it's a month-by-month membership designed to give you the support, structure, and strategy you need to actually make progress. Each month, you'll get live group coaching calls so you can ask questions, get feedback, and gain clarity on your next steps. Step-by-step training modules on legal setup, marketing, enrollment, financial planning, school operations, a private community of passionate educators who get what you're building and are right there with you, a roadmap to keep you moving forward whether you're launching or growing your school, and new resources delivered to your teacher mailbox inside our Micro School Masterminds community that are brand new every single month. And again, the best part is it's a month-to-month membership, so you can join when you're ready and staying as long as you need. Or if you're all in, grab the yearly membership and get 2 months free. This is your time. Your vision deserves a real plan, and I want to help you every step of the way. Go to teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds to join us today. That's teachersletyourlightshine.com/masterminds. We can't wait to see you.
When you think about all of the parts that go into running a micro school, such as the curriculum we just spoke about, creating systems, creating the homeschool connection, then you've got marketing, you've got finances. What do you think has been the hardest part of all of the little domains, from moving from being a classroom teacher to actually owning and running a business, a school? What's been the hardest part? Which sector?
Oh my. Not because curriculum has not been difficult. I did add on My Father's World.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And I love it. I love it. And we will be bringing that in. I think that's going to be our foundation from now on. But I would have to say organization and time.
Oh,
I think the time is huge. because when it's just like you and one other person or you're wearing all the hats. Because really, if it comes, if it's about marketing, it's about the time to get the marketing done.
Mm-hmm.
If it's about the finances, getting that done. I have to say the organizational aspect I had in one of the summer coaching sessions. You had posted the file system of the weekly file folders.
Oh, that's helpful.
And I did that, and it is so helpful. Like, I'm not, running around Monday morning trying to get papers together. It's all in the file. And I'm even teaching the students to be responsible. Okay, go get your folder, hole punch, put it in. So even creating a system for them.
Sure. I think we get really caught up in how to serve the students and what systems work best for them. And then we lose ourselves in the moment. It's kind of like another where you take care of all the kids and then you just lost your own self. So going through the process of how you organize and what makes sense to you and what is effective for you, it may not be for everybody, right? But at least you feel grounded.
Yeah.
At least you have a system. It's a visible system, a visual system for you. It's a tangible system for you that you've been able to process through. And then once you get the hang of it, then you can teach that type of a system to someone else. You become a master of the system to then be able to teach it. But when we're in the thick of trying to figure it out for students and we think this one system is going to be great for them, but we've actually never tried it ourselves, right? So I'll give an example even with my daughters. My oldest daughter has carried around in her middle school backpack 7 notebooks, 7 folders. That works for her. So she has 14 things in her backpack. Green notebook, green folder for science, yellow, so on and so forth for every subject. So I sent her, now I would not organize like that, and that's okay. But I know that I need just one folder. I need one bucket that has all of my files that I need for finances. I've got one bucket that has all my files for curriculum so that it's separated, but I've got one. So for my youngest daughter, she went with my oldest daughter to go school shopping. And of course, my oldest daughter is like, you need 7 folders and you need 7 notebooks. And for my youngest daughter, she can handle one. We need one notebook and one folder. And I asked her the other day, I said, Jolie, I said, I think you just need one notebook, one folder. Just put it all together in one folder. She said, okay. She comes back the other day. She pulls out a folder and I noticed she had English paper and a science paper. I was like, oh my gosh, Jolie, good job. You actually went down to one folder. She goes, yeah, I did. And I said, where are your other notebooks and folders? She goes, I lost them. They're somewhere all over the school. And so it just goes to show that the way that my daughter Joliana and I operate together, I knew. For my oldest daughter, I never really had that organization system. So I really wasn't able to show her a really good platform for keeping all of these subjects in a compiled way. And I missed out on that opportunity. But once I started strengthening myself and strengthening my organizational systems, I was then able to convert over to my daughter. And it's converting over. I see the systems that have been working for me over the past few years. I see our whole child developer, our director. She is like, how do you keep it all together? I like that notebook system that you have. Then our secretary, she says, oh, I really like how you have these hanging file folders. And then we've got our community liaison. And she's like, I'm really interested in this workbox thing that you have. So I feel as a leader, as a mom, as a teacher, really having our own systems and organization in place is critical before we can really organize all of the people that work with us and our students as well. How many people do you have worked with you?
So this year we have 4. So we have 4 paid staff, which
Congratulations.
is, yeah. So going from just 2 last year to 4 is pretty phenomenal. It's great. Yes.
When you when you started homeschooling your daughter, how did that go? Was she a part of public school and then transferred over as a homeschooling student?
Yeah, she was. She'd gone to the classical Christian school where I taught for 3 years out in California, and then we moved to Iowa, and they didn't have a classical Christian school in our area, so she went to the public school. And her 7th grade year, she prayed all year that I would homeschool her.
Oh,
And I was like, I can't let this pass. My daughter wants me to be teaching her. I'm going to take this opportunity because she will be grown up before I know it.
it's beautiful.
These are like golden years. And for me, just a lot of conviction that I am to train my child in the way she should go. And so I just really felt that conviction. And I told her, I said, know your why, because it can get tough. Because
Yeah.
once you're out, we're not going back. So
What grade is she in now?
she's a junior, 11th grade now.
And your academy goes kindergarten through 8 still, and she's a junior?
Yeah, and then we have a high school. So Caitlin, my partner, she does the high school.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
So we
beautiful.
are K through 12.
How did you actually come to know the Teacher Let Your Light Shine community and the podcast? Was it after you had already launched or before?
It was shortly after we launched. I want to say, I want to say someone that I was connected to on Facebook. I seen the Teacher Let Your Light Shine, and I joined it right away. And yeah, I've been a part of it since. And then when the micro school masterminds launched, I'm like, I have to be a part of that. And that's something that's even in our budget, like it's in our school budget because it's my development. And so that's something I've kept, Kayla and I, when we talk about the budget, I'm like, are you okay? We still have this. And yes, because it's been so helpful. It's just been a blessing to have that support.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so proud of you that you actually have it as a line item in your budget. One of the components that we talk about in micro school masterminds is about having a sustainable model and in order to have a sustainable model, you have to know what makes it sustainable and you have to have a sustainable system for your finances. And there are modules within micro school masterminds that are self-serving that people can go. We teach about profit first. We show all of the visuals about how to organize your finances and your bank account. We do how to have line items. I actually show you a spreadsheet with the line items, and it's very critical. Do you actually handle the budget for your school or does someone else?
I currently do. And I'm really praying for someone to take over for me. Like, I'm wanting to find a trusted person that I can hand it off to. Just, I, just for a couple reasons. Like, I don't want to be the only one, overseeing the budget. So for protection, but also I just need someone else to do it.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
that's been something on my heart for a while, is finding someone who I can trust with the budget and just hand it over.
Sure. And that takes
Yeah.
time. First off, you got to
Yeah.
come, you want to learn about it yourself. And I think
Mhm.
the first couple of years that I did the QuickBooks and did the tuition and did the billing, it was for a reason. I was educating myself. I was in the know of the numbers. I had to know the numbers before I could hand it off and teach someone else how to do it. And then once I really did release that responsibility, I learned a lot. It's took a process of finding someone, teaching them. So it's not just like over the weekend, I'm going to find someone to outsource financing to. No, it's step-by-step process of how we actually make that work. And I'd be happy Thank you for sharing. In one of our micro school masterminds sessions, I'd be happy to share the process that I went through to finding someone to help me to take over the books, to help me to take over tuition and invoicing, to help me with our taxes. It in and of itself is a project with multiple steps, and it's worth diving into because number one, you need to know your money, and you do need to know where it's coming from, where it's going, so you can make very informed decisions. It is a stewardship to be able to have parents trust us with their children, to trust us with their resources. And so we take it to heart, and it is very serious. But at the same time, we do not have to wear all of the hats. And if it is something that you are ready to release, I truly believe if you're given the steps and the framework for how to break it down, to release it, and to give yourself the time that it's going to take probably 3 to 6 weeks to really be able to fully offload it. And then what's really great, you just have once every 2 weeks, once a month meeting with the person who's taking over it. And then you have so much more insight and you're not in the weeds, so to speak.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that you have done in our micro school masterminds community. You ask great questions. You give so many fantastic ideas. You are there for the prayers. You are there to talk about the wins. You're also vulnerable enough to talk about some things that are pressing on your heart. And I'm so proud of you for sticking to your why and for being resilient during the hard times. I believe that God has blessed your obedience and he will continue to bring the children to you. How many students do you have?
So this year we are started off with 9 K through 8.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So last year was a tough year, and because of a location move, we lost some families, which, God is in the details of everything. And so I learned early on in last year that all I had to do was trust him
Yes.
and just be content with the season that he had us in. And so we started off with, well, first of all, going back, our first year in January, we doubled. So we went from 6 to 12.
Wow.
That first year. And then the second year, it scaled back to 2 kids. So it was like the Lord really had to work on my heart and just helping me to be okay with where we were. And it really was because my little boy was in kindergarten at the time. I just adopted him on the spectrum, coming in with just, specific needs. And so it really allowed me to help him more on that one-on-one. And I did have my amazing aunt come in and help with him as a volunteer. But that year, that season was for me and him and for me to establish like a routine for him. And then that January, we doubled to 4 kids. So we have doubled every year. So I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know if I can double in January this year because I would be, 18. So anyways, yeah, we start off with 9 kids this year
That
in
is
our K through 8.
And thank you for sharing your testimony and your journey. I love the fact that you were able to be content and to see the reason why you didn't have as many students because God wanted you to focus on your.
Yeah.
I also think it's super important that we collectively understand that as we build this micro school, this is not our whole life. This is a piece of our life. This is an arm of our life. We are mothers. We are teachers. We are spouses. And the development of us as a whole person, as a teacher. When we choose to build a micro school, that does not mean that it takes over every component of our life. And it's very easy for that to happen as a teacher, for that to happen as an entrepreneur. It's incredibly important that we speak to the teachers, to the mothers out there who have children with special needs, who have situations going on in their life personally, that we are stewarding our micro schools in a way that is fantastic for our community without losing ourselves. Because if we lose ourselves in the process, we're serving no one with the intention that we had ultimately set out for. And that's hard when you are in a season of constraint. And so you went from having more students to then going down to 2 students. Most people be like, I would have thrown in the towel at that time. Many people would think that. And you still held on. You went through an adoption. Congratulations. That is just so heartwarming. You took on a special needs situation that called for your attention. You also were through the adoption process. That is a huge project, huge life transformation. And it's no wonder God will only give you as much as you can hold. And He knows that. And for you to set still, even though you probably were kicking and screaming at times and trying to figure out what it is that happens next, you were still able to accept where God had you during that season.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that I would also love to share with just, someone who is wanting or in a micro school, launching it or have been in it, just knowing that our peace comes from God. It's not from the situation. And it's when we are able to just give God control, He has the big picture.
Of course.
And so that's just what really kept me going last year, was just knowing my why and knowing that God's in control and He had everything worked out. And now this year we have 9 and we have such a sweet group of kids. Oh my, they are so sweet. So, yeah.
So precious and rejuvenating to hear. I also know that during the times that we have struggled the hardest at Lighthouse Learning, it was very easy for me to think I did something wrong, to put blame on myself, to shame myself. And maybe that is a fear that I've needed to overcome. Maybe it's a stronghold in my life that was specific to me. Other people, my husband, he wouldn't shame himself. He wouldn't go to the Lord and say, what have I done wrong, God? He would be like, thank you, Father. Grateful that this is a situation that I know that I can hear from you, that I can lean in on you. I'm going to wait. I know there's going to be greatness. But for me, I'm over on the other side of the couch going, what have I done wrong? What should I have done differently? Is God punishing me? Is He mad at me? Is this it? Is it over? And it's how we handle these situations. But God, He is a good God. And He is merciful. And He has kindness. And He has love and compassion and goodness. And I wasted a lot of time and a lot of energy and resources and happiness by looking at it with a heart condition as that. And so if there are people who are going through struggling seasons and why you aren't seeing the growth that you're having or the success that you thought it was going to be, really check your heart and spend some time that knowing that it will work out in the end the way that it is supposed to work out. And you are not to feel shame and to berate yourself. That there are situations that have to naturally happen, because every time we've come out of that situation, it's been glorious.
Yeah.
Better on the other side. But we were at the fire, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer, I would like to end this with a takeaway for those who are listening. What is one mindset shift that you have endured yourself that you really want others to know? Like, what has taken you a long time to process, and the shift that has really impacted you the most with this journey?
I would have to say, going back to just knowing that it's not my school, it's the Lord's, and just putting it before him constantly, everything from the finances to having to structure the day differently because I doubled, like all of that, just being able to let go of the things I cannot control,
Right.
but just seeking him like in every aspect. And that's brought me a lot of peace. It's brought me a lot of just being able to keep charging forward
Yes.
through the good, through the not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am so thankful for you. I'm thankful for the peace that you bring to our community. You really do. You've been very active in the Teacher Let Your Light Shine Facebook group. Having you become a part of Micro School Masterminds, it's always a joy to see you on the other side of the screen, to hear your ideas, to hear your own stories. And I really want to say thank you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting the entire mission of Teacher Let Your Light Shine. And I know that so many people will be blessed by this conversation. And I'm excited to see where God takes Logos in the future. So thank you, Jennifer. Please let those who are listening know where they can continue to converse with you and your website or any special platform that's important to those who are listening.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mackenzie.
My pleasure.
My website is logoshomeschoolacademy.com.
Logos Homeschool Academy.com. And you can
Yes.
Jennifer in the Facebook group, and you can find her at Micro School Masterminds.
Yes.
Jennifer.
Hey friends, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about something that has been an absolute game changer for hundreds of micro school and homeschool hybrid founders. Our Teacher Let Your Light Shine online store, a place for founders' favorites. Inside you'll find our beloved bestsellers like the Business Bundle, packed with everything you need to launch and run your school, contracts, enrollment forms, parent partnership letters, and marketing materials that save you hours of stress. Teachers and parents just like you are saying these tools gave them clarity, confidence, and a clear path forward when starting their schools. Whether you're brand new or you're ready to grow, our resources are designed to help you skip the overwhelm and focus on what really matters most, like our open house playbook, our financial review preparation sheet, templates for Facebook and email marketing, how to create the perfect planning day guide, finding curriculum clarity workbook, our new course, Micro School Marketing Blueprint, all the information for legal clarity for beginners, and, of course, the yearly membership to Micro School Masterminds. Head over to teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Again, teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Skip the overwhelm and focus on what matters most: your students, your mission, and your vision. teachersletyourlightshine.com/shop. Go there today and grab tools that will help you shine.